everybody! Sorry I'm a few minutes late again. Yeah, it just took me a little longer. I decided to go ahead and have my Facebook Live outside, even though it's been kind of rainy most of the morning, so I'm really hoping that it doesn't rain on me. While I'm teaching you to make chains and to join in tatting. So cross your fingers that that doesn't happen. And just in case you're wondering, no, I did not design my sweater. This is a sweater out of the book, A Fine Fleece. It was one of the first sweater books that I really fell in love with as a knitter, and I made, I don't know, like 6 or 8 of the sweaters in it, so I really liked the book. And I learned a lot about sweaters and making sweaters that I feel really made me a much better designer. So yeah, not my design, but I do love it. And anyway, on to the topic at hand, some business to get us started. Don't forget, we're still doing that craft along, so make sure that when you are posting that you're using our hashtag BlackSheepCraftTime. It will get you 10% off if you use that code BlackSheepCraftTime at Black Sheep Fiber Emporium. It doesn't take it off of everything, but it takes it off of almost everything. We're also doing free shipping all the way through the end of May, so I think we're almost halfway done. That is crazy. Halfway through May. I do not know where the time has gone. I really don't. I don't know where the time has gone. But don't forget, free shipping. Yay! Slow Yarn Crawl. Slow Yarn Crawl starts May 22nd, and again, I'm starting to put some of the patterns up. You can see those on Ravelry. As soon as I get them all on Ravelry, I'm going to get them on the page, the Slow Yarn Crawl page. Make sure you're ordering your passport and getting ready to make your purchases at our 35 participating shops so you can get your sticker and you can be entered in our drawings. Don't forget, you're entered in the shop drawing, you're entered in a regional drawing if you get your passport stickers from all the shops in a region. If you go to all 35 shops virtually and make a little purchase, you get entered for the overall drawing, the grand prize drawing. And I do believe that we are doing 3 grand prize drawings this year because we have so many shops that we want to spread the love around. So we do have that pre-order up for the Linda Rotted book. I'm not entirely sure that's how you say it. But we have the pre-order up for that fabulous lace book, that brand new lace book from the Master Knitter series. So that pre-order is up on the website. Feel free to go clickety-click and check that out. Friday, I think I am going to demo how to block again. Let me grab that. So Renee actually sent me a sample back. Renee's one of my sample knitters of the Rosita shawl and got it all done. So on Friday, I'm thinking, yeah, why not? Let's do another blocking video and I'll show you what to do with something that isn't square. This one actually has points to it. So let me grab that and I'll show you what it looks like pre-blocking. There. Sorry I had to abandon you for a minute, but hey, look! I went and got the shawl. So there is Renee's version of the Rosita shawl, and you can see it's not super pretty right now, right? Yeah, it's kind of pretty, but wait until we block this puppy. I'm telling you, it'll be fabulous. So Friday, probably around 2-ish, we will do a live blocking again of a knitted item. All right, so now that we know what we're doing for Friday, and we've talked about Slow Yarn Crawl, and we talked about the pre-orders, and we talked about free shipping at Black Sheep, and Black Sheep Craft Time, then hey, let's get down to business and let's do some tatting again. So if you have your tatting with you, I do recommend having a shuttle and your ball. We're gonna go ahead, I will flop my camera so that it's back on my hands, and we'll work on some tatting. Okay, put this down, and let's see, move my list of things I need to do. There we go. All right, so here's my handy dandy. Once I was a burp cloth, and now I am a background cloth for Kelly's demonstrations. All right. Oops, I put my tatting shuttle through. Okay, so if you recall, let's see, what was it, Monday? No, last week. It was Friday last week, right? We learned how to make a ring. And I showed you how to wind your shuttle, and I showed you how to make the first half and the second half, and how to make the picot. So now we're going to talk about chains. And chains are what I like to think of as the second half of tatting. So you start with rings when I teach, and then we do chains second. So to make a chain in tatting, we have to work with the ball thread. So this is our quote-unquote ball thread. And we have to reverse our work so that we can start working with this one. And all we do is hold it in our hand like normal, and we're going to pinch that ring in between our finger and our thumb, just like we did when we were making our ring. And then we are going to do our tatting. So if you recall, to make the front half, you take that shuttle thread over the top of your fingers. You go under and over and back through the loop. And then again, we have to flip this because we do not want the stitch, the first half of our stitch, to be on our shuttle. We want it to be on our chain thread, our ball thread. So you relax your hand that's holding your ball thread, and you're going to pull tightly and hold the thread that's coming from your shuttle. And then I just extend my fingers out a little bit and pull that first half of that stitch down, just like that, nice and snug. Don't want to leave a space this time. Sometimes you might want to leave a space for various reasons, but for most patterns you won't. So now we're going to make the back half. We'll dangle that thread in front. We go over and under and back through the loop. And again, we want to make sure that we move this loop, this second half of our stitch, from the shuttle to our hand. So we relax our hand, pull on the shuttle thread, and then very gently pull it down into place. So there we go. That's our first stitch on our chain. So now we're just going to repeat that. And let's say we just make, oh, I don't know, maybe 6 stitches. We'll put some picots in. This is all kinds of fun. And I am using, again, that cord. I'm not actually using tatting thread. I'm using cord. That way it's large and you can see it. And I'm using my very large Tatsy shuttle. So there we go. Tatty tat tat. Let's put another picot in just for fun. I like making picots. See if we can get them about the same size. That's the hard part. I actually know a gal who has little dots tattooed on her finger so that she can size her picots based on the little dots. I am not quite that crazy. I do have some little dots here on my thumb, but this is because when I was tattooing rabbits, because remember I raise rabbits, yeah, I accidentally tattooed my thumb. So I have like 1 there, 2, 3, 4. I used to have a couple on my finger, but no longer. So any of my friends who are watching who have rabbits, you can laugh at me now. Yes, I've accidentally tattooed myself. All right, so here's our happy little chain. We have a little ring with a picot on it. We've got a little chain with a couple of picots on it. So let's say we're ready to make another ring. So now we're going to reverse our work again because we want our ring to come off of our shuttle thread. So we'll pinch the end of our work between our thumb and our first finger, and then we will unwind some of our thread and we'll set it up to make a ring. So now we're going to do the same thing. Remember, when we make a ring, we wrap that thread around, we pinch it between that thumb and that first finger so that it makes the ring. And that's our core thread that all of our stitches, rather, will be sliding on. So now we're going to go ahead and we'll make a stitch just like we have before. And you want to try and make that as close to your chain as possible. So you're starting your ring close to your chain. And let's do 2. And 1 more makes 3. And now let's say that we want to join. So we don't actually want to make a picot. We want to join this picot over here to this ring so that these 2 pieces are joined together and they don't come apart. So my Tatsy shuttle does not have a pick on it, which means that I need to go grab a crochet hook. Now, this is a very tiny crochet hook. I would not normally use this for this size of cord or thread, but because this is just a quick demonstration, I'm going to show you what we do. You'll take the working ring thread, so you can see that our stitches slide because that's our core shuttle thread, right? So we're going to take that working ring thread, we're going to lay it under the picot where we want to join, and then we're just going to take our crochet hook and scoop a loop. So that's all we did, we scooped a loop. Then you're going to take your shuttle, and I usually go with the under method. You can go under and through your loop, you can go over and down through your loop, so that's an up versus a down. And then there's some other ways that you can manipulate your joins, but this is a pretty basic up join. And then all we're going to do is pull on our working ring thread and keep smushing it along until it vaguely looks like the first half of a stitch. It's sort of the vaguely looks like the first half of a stitch. So there we've got our join in. And then to finish it out, you want to make sure that you make the back half of your stitch and you flip it. And there we go. Now it's joined. So our two rings are joined together from that picot that I made in that first ring into my second ring. And then to finish it out, we'll just tat another few stitches. Okay, let's say we do 3 more stitches. So this is something that I always do. When I have joined, I always count this as my first stitch in a series. So if my ring was supposed to be 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then a join, and then 3 more stitches, I count the join as the first stitch. Some tatters do not do that. So long as you are consistent in what you are doing, that is the important part. So 1, 2, 3, join, 2, 3. So now we're just going to close that ring. And to do that, we're going to hold the first stitch and last stitch together, and we are going to pull right there on the shuttle thread, and that's going to close our ring down. So you can see our ring is closing. Now if I was using finer thread, I would not have opened my hand up to check it, but because we're using cording, sometimes that's easier. So there we go, our happy little chain, our happy little ring. Now when we do our next chain, we'll reverse work again, and then we'll start working here. And when we do that, it's very important again, as you make that first half stitch, that you relax your hand, you tighten the shuttle thread, and then you tighten that chain down, that first half of that first stitch of that chain nice and tight so that you don't have gaps. So there you go. There's a basic tatting lesson for you, just something to get you started. So if you go back to, what was that, Friday, May 10th? I think. Isn't today the 13th? Let's see. Mother's Day was the 12th. I believe so. Anyway, go back to Friday. Then you'll see how to tat and how to make that first ring in picot. And then if you come to today's lesson, you can see how to make that chain and then how to join rings together. This also works with chains if you're supposed to be joining chains. It's the same idea. All you do is lay the working thread under the picot, pull that loop up, and then slide your shuttle up through it. And again, there are different joins. I tend to use an up join. It's a pretty standard join, but you can also have a down join, and then there's Catherine wheel joins, and there's Dora Young joins, and anyway, lots of other joins to be had, but that is the basics. All right, so let's flip it around here. And there's my deck again. And, oh, there's a close-up of me. All right, so that is your basic tatting lesson. That's how to make a chain and how to join your rings. And Friday, like I said, I think I'm going to take this shawl and we'll block the Rosita shawl, and I'll show you how to work something with points. Hopefully the weather will be good. If not, we'll be on the floor in my guest bedroom, would be my guess. Anyway, and if there's something that you want me to teach, you just need to let me know. I am happy to teach whatever you are interested in. So leave a comment or send me a message. You can email me. I would love to hear what you want to see on this series of Facebook Live videos. So I try to give you a little overview of everything that's going on, from, you know, our free shipping at the shop, to the Black Sheep Craft Time tag, to Slow Yarn Crawl. But if there's something specific that you want me to teach, you just have to let me know so that I can do that. So don't forget to stay safe, wear your masks, make sure you get your passport, buy your passport from your local yarn store. Black Sheep is going to have a few passports available if you're interested in getting them from us. And we have a special drawing for our slow crawlers for any purchases from May 22nd through September 7th. So during the whole crawl, we are doing a special drawing just with Black Sheep. So it's a bonus drawing. It's kind of fun. You know, we like giving stuff away. We like supporting our crafters. Don't forget the Experience Challenge. So I think Stilly River was doing like an online trunk show, which looked really fun. And you can actually use that as one of your experience challenges for the Slow Yarn Crawl. So make sure you check out what all of the other shops are doing too. Lots of fun all summer long. Staying safe and supporting our little local yarn stores. That way we all stay in business, because we want to keep serving you and bringing you fun, crafty stuff for the future. So anyway, I will see you next time. Friday, I think we're going to block a shawl, and then we'll figure out what we're doing next week. So I will see you next time. Stay safe and stay crafty. I don't know, stay crafty? Yeah, stay crafty.